Silence hung in the air so thick, I was amazed I could breathe. It wasn't that I thought graduating from the FBI Academy in Quantico was going to be relaxed. I mean, why would it be? The last 20 weeks had been grueling and complicated and anything but relaxed. I guess I figured with that out of the way, the ceremony would be a little more loose, a little more fun, even though there had been no indication of that ever being the case. The new agents sat in their seats, tense and hanging on the director's every word. She stood tall, her dark brown locks pulled into a high bun. Her ebony skin looked flawless, even under the harsh lighting in the auditorium. Director Fletcher always looked flawless and stylish, and today was no different. Her white dress practically glowed. "You should all be so proud of this accomplishment, and I mean that. Not everyone who walks through those doors makes it. And I must say, for some of you, it was a little touch and go there." A smattering of laughter passed through the room. "I mean, I won't name any names, but—" She looked around. "We had some bets going." There was another burst of laughter, mostly from the parents and families attending. The agents around me looked around. Each pair of eyes fell on another, each person trying to figure out whom they had a bet on. I could have been one of them. My first week at Quantico was a little rough. It took me longer to get my bearings, but once I did, everything worked out, and I ended up in the top 5 of my class. I had always wanted a career in law enforcement, and when the opportunity arose to join the FBI, I took it, much to the disappointment of my parents. I know, or at least I hope, that as you all go out into the world, you will make me proud. You will serve your country by doing what is right and just, and help us all sleep better at night. Each of you has been entrusted with upholding the ideals of fidelity, bravery, and integrity. This is the mission of the FBI, and it's the mission each of you have sworn to uphold. After the ceremony, we received our service weapons. Amazing how holding a gun could make a person feel powerful. Feel like they could take on the whole world, like nothing could stop them. That's how I felt when my fingers closed around the grip. "Well, I guess congratulations are in order." My father pulled me into one of his big bear hugs, although this one was a little lacking. Less of a bear hug and more of a church hug, the kind of hug you would give someone you know, but not well enough to wrap your arms around them. A safe hug. An I should keep this person at a distance hug. My mother wrapped her arms around me and pressed her nose into my neck, like she was trying to remember the way I smelled. Like she was trying to commit me to her memory just in case she never saw me again. I wasn't leaving for another week, but they acted like I was already gone, like they needed to get used to being without me. "I guess there's no turning back now?" My mother's voice wavered on the last word, like she was asking a question instead of making a statement. Maybe she wanted me to say I'd changed my mind and wanted to stay. The hopeful look in her eyes made me sad and a little angry. My family had a history of serving our country in some capacity, mostly through the military, and all that was fine. No one had a problem with my brother enlisting in the Air Force. We were all proud, but now that I want to serve my country, it's a problem. I smiled tightly. I didn't feel like having the same conversation with them over and over again. My mind flickered to the huge blow-up we had when I signed up for the academy. Why is it okay for Owen to enlist, but I get shit for wanting to join the FBI? My father had sat in his recliner reading the newspaper. He'd gripped the edges so tightly, the paper wrinkled around his fingers. "It's not the same thing, and you know it. Your brother enlisting in the military is different. It just is. You could be anything. You could be a lawyer or something. You could live a simple life. You don't have to put your life in harm's way."